Today was quiet in the tribe. People were daytime napping and stuff. The members of this tribe hadn't really formed alliances, outside of Spevy and IX being allied. Porter said, "Pato, I'm interested in testing out your theory of the game, where we all discuss who we think should be out next. Who do you think should be next on the chopping block?" Gerald said, "I honestly don't know." Cheesy Mouse said, "You?" Gerald said, "No, I love mouses and cheese." Cheesy said, "Your next, buckaroo, what ya gonna do about it?" Pato said, "Not sure, bro. I don't really think that's needed to discuss till we actually need to vote. I think the only new guys is Hugo, right? HM?" Hugo said, "Yes, hi. I'm new and I don't like what you are implying." Cheesy said, "I am a blow yo brains out." Hugo said, "I think we'll function better as a team if we don't think about the looming threat of elimination. It can build morale." Cheesy said, "If we keep winning, we'll be fine and won't have to vote again. I think we're fine as a tribe overall, no need to turn on each other pre-merge." Hugo said, "Yeah, the goth batty furries got this, lol." Then it was time for alliance talk. Gerald said, "Cheesy and Pato, I think we should stick together. The trio of destiny." Cheesy said, "I'm fairly certain that Hugo and Quarter are aligned with each other." Gerald said, "They are. What's more is they're aligned against you. Don't say anything to them in any server because they'll deny it, but they want to vote you. Both of them. And I don't want Quarter to move on. Last season he betrayed me and ruined everything. And I forgive him. Say it's fine because it is, but I will not let him do that this season." Cheesy said, "Yeah, we for reals gotta get him out." Gerald said, "You and Pato are by far the most trusting people I know in this tribe. I like all four except Quarter." Cheesy said, "If it comes to it, Hugo's gotta go as well. I feel like we won't be able to trust him post-merge." Pato said, "We are cooking up Quarter's ass." Otherwise, people didn't have much alliance talks, as they didn't need to go vote today. However, at this point, it was clear that there were two sides trying to get each other out. Quarter was with Hugo at one side, thinking Gerald is also allied with them. Then on the other side was Cheesy and Pato, but now Gerald has picked their side to deceive and eliminate Quarter. Little past midnight, Perma and Lean decided to go find the priest Noah and question him about the cult. They walked to the hallway, weapons ready in case. They knew where he was sleeping, and just as they were ready to knock on the bunk room door, someone gets up inside and says, "Damn, pissing the night away again." It was Priest Noah, and he opened the door, confused to see them at the other side. Perma said, Hello, fellow night pisser. Hello, Father, may we have a moment of your time?" Noah said, "Sure, what is going on?" Lean said, "We were wondering if you could tell us what you know about the shadow." Noah said, "I warned you about messing around with that stuff. I was worried about you tonight." Then they went to the players' bunk room to discuss further, and Noah promised to help them the best he can. Noah said, "My name is Noah, by the way. I have been watching these men with black cloaks, but have been keeping distance." Lean said, "How long have they been here?" Noah said, "They came with the others when the nukes fell. They were first quiet and invincible, but recently they have started to pop up more. They have shown their presence in ways. Most here, including me, came here prior to the nukes, a month prior. We escaped our robotic captors, wandered around till we found this miracle, the men in the black cloaks. They came right before the nukes dropped. They came together from elsewhere. The robots, AI, it was all an illusion, a false god made by humanity, which it fell a victim to. This is God's way to punish us and to test us, but I have a feeling we are dealing with something entirely different here." Lean said, "Some dark, demonic shit. What have they been doing here, besides meditating? We keep finding drops of blood on the floor in there." Perma said, "Yeah, they must have a goal, and their symbols create heat when blood touches them, and they sting anyone who interacts." Perma said, "Yeah, they must have a goal, and their symbols create heat when blood touches them, and they sting anyone who interacts." Noah said, "Assuming they practice something demonic, rituals I would guess. Again, I have been avoiding them." They have started to appear in the meditation room at night. This is new. Then Noah notices the book called Eternal on their table and looks scared. Perma said, "It's called the Eternal or something like that. I haven't read too much of it. We were hoping to use its magics to our benefit, growing food or protection." Noah said, "I assume the symbols have something to do with witchcraft, something evil and powerful that is connected to all this. I need to study the book. I've never seen this exact book." Then it was time for alliance talks. Perma said, "So yeah, I'm guessing we're going on with our plan then." Lean asked, "Manon, right?" Perma said, "Yep." Rebek said, "Next time we go for Cameron." They told Cameron to also vote Manon. It was then time for an elimination, and everyone voted out Manon due to being inactive. Perma said, "Decisive end. Rest in peace, Manon." Manon then has a heart attack and falls dead to the floor. The players decided to go around trying to fool and challenge the followers of Alpha to break the illusion. Bobby went around and told some that she has heard how Alpha actually is hiding food from all of us just for himself. Few men raise an eyebrow and says, Alpha would never do that. Bobby asked, why do they think he's so in shape? One man asked, he works out, haven't you seen the abs? Bobby said, doesn't do much if you don't have a source of energy, he's a weak man. Bobby said, doesn't do much if you don't have a source of energy, he's a weak man. One man says, I will go and report you to the Alpha right away. You shouldn't challenge him or make such remarks. He is a man of the people. He cares about our well-being. He would never do such selfish thing. Alpha is screaming and shouting in the hospital. He sounds a bit like Hitler. He just found out about what Bobby said. Bobby said, he is nothing without you men. You are the ones who must take control. His fear drive him to take no action, and look where that has led him. One of his right-hand man said, we are nothing without his order. We need him. We must not betray that. Heil Alpha. One of his right-hand man said, we are nothing without his order. We need him. We must not betray that. Heil Alpha. A man said, we are one. We are not his men or dogs. He is one of us. He is what inspires us and keeps everything in order, gives us hope. We are the Nazi. Postal said, I am wearing a mask from the skin of those I stabbed. Then it was time for alliance talks. Postal said, hey guys, has anyone seen Illikep's Law active yet? Bobby said, yeah, I like PVZ wasn't active at all, so I guess that should be our next vote. Space Wolf said, I've seen him online once or twice, but done the same as Vev and not said anything, and I think we need a mission to go get food because of our tribe's health. TG Mid said, who are you voting next? Space Wolf said, I don't know yet to be fair, but more than likely the I like PVZ, because they not said anything. TG Mid said, I really don't want to vote anyone out to be honest, but if I had to, he's my first choice. Then it was time for elimination and people voted I like PVZ LOL out. Bobby said, rest in peace, can I eat him? I like PVZ LOL said, yuch, and one of the Nazis shot him in the head, sending him back to the loop. Bobby starts to eat the corpse while the rest are watching. TG Mid said, I don't like to vote. I still wish we could win by a coin flip. At least then it's equal grounds. I at least am trying to help out someone, like how Mal did for me. I hope my advice won't fall on deaf ears. If I want to take anyone up to the Kingdom Alliance, it's him. The Scribble matches played today determined that tribes A and D would go to vote tomorrow on day 4.